lights the red. Let battle commence. All from here. Rivers Red Wine.
Two Wheels is proudly powered by Broadlink, delivering serious bandwidth for serious business.
Welcome to the Brother News Desk. This week we are in the gold mining town of Barberton for a highlights package of the Time Freight Super Enduro held there recently. Your commentator is Laren van der Westhuizen.
Thanks, Dave. Yes, welcome to round 3 of the Time Freight Super Enduro right here in the heart of Barberton. Absolutely awesome riding terrain, and this is a mixture of motocross, endurocross and cross country. Let's catch up with a few of the top riders and see what they have to say.
No, just to go out there. I've been training a bit of endurocross, but today looks like a longer lap. It's not just endurocross, it's a bit of cross country as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be like a sprint event, so it's going to be a lot to do with the start. And
Lawrence Mahoney, one of the hotshot favourites.
Guys are riding really well. Blake came out and he won the race obviously, and it did some good lap times and showed us why it's done. So yeah, today we're back here and the guys did even more effort than last time. They changed the track up a little bit. They put some more obstacles in, so it's gonna make good racing.
Daryl Curtis standing by with some interesting news.
Well, Rihanna and myself have moved across to Husqvarna. It's quite a big change for us. We've been in the KTM camp for 18 years. Husqvarna does fall under the same family though. And of course, Broadlink's come across with us, and we'll still be doing our Dakar program as per normal on the KTM.
They've changed up the circuit for this round 3 of the Time Freight Super Enduro. Going to make for some exciting racing. We're going to start with the Masters and beginners. And the start is going to be so important to get out in the front and get through all those obstacles without anyone falling in front of you. And that's what it's all about in this class. It's Terence Hyde who's got himself to the front and going through probably one of the most difficult parts of the circuit there, through that little log pile. Right with him is Barend Bieselaar on the CF10, trying to make a pass here, doesn't quite make it stick, and Terence Hyde cuts him off, gets back into the front. That'll be a two-way battle, so you can come through that section. See little interesting things all the way around the track. You're not given a break at all. Next rider through on the CF9 is Sean Miller, and getting through the log section without too many problems. This certainly can make you tired, and getting through these sections without any mistakes is going to be very important. As we see mistakes start to happen. One of our lady riders out there on the C120, that's Amy Sutton. Good ride, and the lady's starting to make a serious influence in the off-road and enduro racing. Terence Hyde into the forest section, and you've got two options here, whether to go for the rocks, and that's pretty intimidating, or whether you want to go to the right, like our rider in second place does. Barend Bieselaar takes the chicken run. Obviously the rock section a lot quicker, but big chance of getting stuck if you don't know what you're doing. So most of these beginners and masters choosing to go for the right-hand lane and get out of that section without too much trouble. Terence Hyde, though, holds on for the win, and he'll be leading this championship by a large margin now, a specialist at the Super Enduro. On with our intermediates now, and these are the kamikaze pilots, the guys that think they're pros, but not quite there yet, and there we go, down in turn 1. I saw a great start there from a young motocross rider, Eart Bukers, on the 601, and doesn't last too long because down he goes. He's got some big pressure now from our fastest lady, Tony Jardine, on the 101. She's now into second place. Let's see what she can do from here. Riders going down all over the place. That's the 57 of Darren Gray. And you don't want that to happen because, riders all over the place. Those logs just catch the front wheel, and very difficult to keep the bike upright through there. And proving to be one of the toughest sections. Right, so Darren Gray gets going again, and right behind him the E41 of Albert Poss. Doesn't get through with too many troubles, but still causing some big issues in that log section for the rest of the guys. And let me tell you what, at the end of the race, that's going to sap all your energy. Right, we got a new race leader on the 279. It's Christian Engel, a man all the way from Europe, and he is the factory KTM mechanic. Loves coming out to the Super Enduro and doing his thing. Looks like Tony Jardine in second place, and that's your third place rider, Eart Bukers, picking up after that crash in the logs and getting going. Single track through this section, and you see the 57, Darren Gray, picking up the pace. He'll have to make some passes out, and a two-way battle up in the front now. So Christian Engel, after having a bit of a gap, under pressure from the youngster Eart Bukers, around the outside, showing his motocross skill as he doubles his way through there and dodges the croc, and into the front he goes. Denzel Laurie on the 906, also a man that features right up in the front of these Super Enduros every single round. And nice to see he's made his way up towards the front end of the field. All right, there's a couple of different lines as they go through the dam section. But your race leader and winner now on the 601, Eart Bukers, and proving if you can do motocross, you can do it all. The big gunners on the line, they have to start with their hands on their head. The pro class gets going. Who's going to get that whole shot? What a start from the man who is just so dominant in Super Enduro. It's Blake Goodsight into the log double, we call it, and a couple of guys have doubled that, including Blake Goodsight and Brian Kappa, one of the only other ones to have done that. And even for the pros, that log section proving to be quite a challenge. Look at Travis Teasdale. He doesn't have any trouble there. He gets through cleanly and almost takes the lead. Good shot of Kenny Gilbert and the 69 of Moritz Meyring. There's Altus de Vet, who's had a shocker start. He's somewhere in the mid-pack with Ross Blackwell. He's got some work to do. That's the 973 of Bernard McGee towards the back end of the field, but I'm sure learning every time he watches guys up in the front go past. There they go into the section right, so Lawrence Mahoney decides he's not going to take the chicken run. He goes through the difficult part, and can he make some passes here? On board with Altus de Vet, he takes the chicken run, but remember he got a bad start, so he'll be hoping to make a few passes. He knows he can get through this chicken run very quickly, maybe skip a few places and start closing down on the front runners. Remember, new to the Husqvarna, so wanting to prove that he's very much a contender for the Roof of Africa at the end of the year. But they've got a man up in the front anyway in the form of Blake Goodsight on the E8. Absolute specialist at this sort of racing, and I think a dark horse for the Roof of Africa. Look at that, going through the dam section there and aquaplaning his way, Lawrence Mahoney, and knocking his foot right off the pegs. Kenny Gilbert, a big wheelie through there, a little look over his shoulder, says, oh, I'm safely in third place. Let's watch Blake Goodsight. Look at the skill of this youngster through that really tall tyre section, and no problem at all. Lawrence Mahoney, let's see what he does. A little bit of a different technique, and it doesn't quite work for him. Can't get the front wheel up and losing time. That is where Blake Goodsight is certainly making up all the time and getting away from the rest of the guys. Kenny Gilbert, same technique as Lawrence Mahoney. Feet down, gets through a little quicker, and he would have closed the gap up. And the rest of the guys start to see their troubles as Brendan Swanevelde on the 72. He's trying to stay ahead of the 970 of Reynard Pereira and does so. Brendan, still a young rider and looking to make some inroads into the front end of enduro racing in South Africa. Look out for him in the Roof of Africa. So right now, Altus de Vet, he's made one or two passes ahead of Rian van Niekerk. So those two will be battling somewhere in the midsection, but no trouble for the man that dominates Super Enduro. A little mistake on the finish line, but holds it all together. It was Blake Goodsight, but look how close Lawrence Mahoney finished. Oh, we look forward to Heat 2. Let's hear from Mike Burton.
The Super Enduro is much more spectator friendly, we've found, because it's much more, the tracks are shorter, and just take a look around here. You can see the people, how they're sitting in the shade enjoying this lot, okay, which is a good thing.
Well, we really got to thank Time Freight for their efforts in the Super Enduro series, really making it worthwhile for the riders to come through and enjoy this fantastic series. Right, back on the line again for the second and final heat for our beginners and masters. So the winner of Heat 1 was Terence Hardy. He hasn't got such a good start this time around. He's going to have to fight his way through the field as Byron Biesela on the CF10 has taken the lead. Sean Miller was in second place, but Terence Hardy blows past him in that log section. I'm sure Sean Miller, he'll be happy with the podium though, so he'll keep going. Terence Hardy into the chicken run and knocks his foot off on the left-hand side, so he's going to have to take a second go at it and up cleanly this time. So no problems for Terence Hardy. Sean Miller in the CF9 gets a clean run, keeps his feet all together, but Pierre Kruger showing us how to do it. A little bit of momentum at the bottom and get through that rut without any trouble. One of our sponsors for the day is Motorist Ludovic. Although that is our race leader that's run into trouble, went a little bit deep through the dam, and their bike sucked water. He was out of it, and that handed the win to Terence Hyde, making it 2 out of 2.
Yeah, always seems to be someone that's giving you a bit of a hard time around the track. Jack was away, but certainly there wasn't a couple of good guys standing in for him, and had to sweat a bit to get the win.
Right, so the final heat for the intermediate class, and we saw how hectic turn 1 was for them. Good start for Brendan Benani on the 44 as they go over that wooden double. No one attempting to go for it. Brendan Benani in the front. Oh, and I'll tell you what, Eric Bukers, as fast as he's been, that log section causing him a few problems, along with Christian Engel. He's also stuck there. Tony Jardine somewhere in the mid-pack, so she's got work to do. So all our race leaders from Heat 1 with not a great start, but they've worked hard. So it's Eric Bukers in the front with the 57 of Darren Gray right behind him. There's Christian Engel, made up for the bad start, and in 4th place, Tony Jardine on the 101. He's also freshly back from the World Championships in Sweden. and really learning the art of enduro racing at top level. Got Bukers showing us the speed that he's got in motocross over the double, one of the few intermediates to do that, and no one could touch him up in the front, and a youngster going places. On the line now for the grand finale. This was going to be for 10,000 Rand, and it's not looking like a good start for Altus de Vet. Away he goes. He's going to have to fight from the back of the pack. Here we go, up and over the log double. No way through for him. He's going to have to just hope not too many riders get stuck around him. So through the raised rock garden, he makes 1 or 2 passes. But Blake Goodside up in the front, and he really has been the king of whole shot. Good start for Maurits Meyering and Rian van Niekerk right in the mix. I can see that log section catching out quite a few of the riders. That was Reynard Ferreira. Had such a good first heat. Kenny Gilbert way down the field. So a few of the big names with a lot of work to do. So that's going to make it a lot easier for Blake Goodside to walk away with another 10,000 Rand. Lawrence Mahoney chasing him down. Not sure whether he's got the pace to close it. Maurits Meyering, what a race he's having in this final heat. Comfortably in third place from Kyle Erasmus from Enduro World. And there's Altus de Vet right on his tail. Right, so on board with Altus de Vet, who's right behind Kyle Erasmus. Let's watch them go through this technical wooded section. Remember, all sorts makes it up Super Enduro. This is a bit of single track, including the big tyres. Blake Goodside making it look easy through there without too many hassles. The first time these riders had to do these tyres, it really caused huge hassles for them, but they've learnt the art of going through there, a little bit of trial skills. And Maurits Meyering going to have to be careful now because the big gunners are closing him down. He was comfortably in that third place. Rian van Niekerk on the number 30. Goes on a little skew, and he has to worry about the 511 of Kyle Erasmus on his tail. And the riders by now will be feeling a little tired, but Kyle Erasmus, after all that hard work, stalls the bike, loses some time, and now it's Altus de Vet and Kenny Gilbert right with him. So it's going to be a big tussle there for the top 5 places. Oh, and the man who went down on the 970, Reynard Ferreira. Ross Blackwell on the 124, he goes down, one of the younger riders in this group. And you can see how the riders towards the back of the group here don't get through as easy as the rest. Danger, yes, danger. How fast is Blake Goodside going? The rest of the riders have to be careful. Look at these guys are so quick. South Africa is producing some world-class riders in Enduro. So the checkered flag awaits Blake Goodside. He takes all the money.
Man, that was really cool. My cargo tag Husqvarna was on fire today. I had no problems, and I just had to hang it all out, and I got the win again. I'm very happy, and thank you to my team. Thank you to Steve, who worked on my bike all day, and I had a great day.